Part 1, Origin and Background. In 1971, the UK underwent a monumental transformation in its currency system. Known as Decimal Day, February 15th marked the shift from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a simpler, base 10 decimal currency. This changeover wasn't just an economic evolution, it was a numismatic revolution. The 2 new pence coin was introduced as part of this change. Struck in bronze, it featured the inscription New Pence, a crown portcullis design on the reverse, a long-standing British symbol, and Queen Elizabeth II's portrait on the obverse. It was larger than the modern 2p, weighing 7.12 grams and measuring 25.91 millimeters in diameter. At first glance, nothing seemed too remarkable about this coin. Millions were minted in 1971, and it quickly became part of everyday circulation. But as you'll see, not all coins are created equal. Part 2. Why is the 1971 2 new pence so rare? So, how did this common coin become a rare treasure? Let's break it down. Although the 1971 2p was mass-produced, minting errors, design anomalies, and specimen strike coins have made certain versions extremely valuable. Here are some key reasons why. 1. Proof set errors. Some 2p coins included in 1971 proof or specimen sets were struck using special dies or under unique conditions. These ultra-limited coins never entered general circulation. 2. Struck on the wrong planchette. Some coins were accidentally struck on smaller 1p or foreign planchets, creating a dramatic size difference. These are extremely rare and often fetch huge prices. 3. Off-center strikes or misaligned dies. A small number of coins show severe off-center designs. These errors are highly prized by collectors. 4. Mint luster and condition. A perfect 1971 2p coin with full mint luster, graded MS67 or higher, is rare. Only a handful survive in this condition today. All these factors combined make the 1971 2 new pence coin one of the most surprising rare coins in British numismatics. Part 3, Value of the rare 1971 2 new pence coin. Let's talk money. How much can these rare coins actually sell for? A normal circulated 1971 2p coin? That's worth face value. But small blue diamond proof strikes or uncirculated mint condition coins can sell for £500 to £1,000, $600 to $1,300, or more at auctions. Small blue diamond error coins, like wrong planchets or off-center strikes, have sold for up to £5,000, $6,300, depending on their rarity and condition. Small blue diamond 1 exceptional specimen strike coin graded PF69 Ultra Cameo sold for over £10,000, $12,700, due to its flawless finish and extreme scarcity. And the rarest coins, those struck in error or released accidentally outside of mint packaging, could go for £20,000 to £50,000, $25,000 to $65,000, or more if discovered in pristine condition. It all depends on the coin's features, grade, and whether a passionate collector is looking for that exact piece. Left-pointing magnifying glass. Part 4. How to identify a valuable 1971 2p coin. So how can you spot one of these ultra-rare gems? Here's what to look for. 1. Check the lettering. It should say New Pence. Later years said 2 pence, so make sure yours is a true 1971 version. 2. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to look for off-center designs, double striking, blurred or missing details, edge anomalies. 3. Weight and size. If it seems smaller or lighter than standard, it may have been struck on the wrong planchette. 4. Check for proof quality. These coins have a mirror-like surface and sharp detail. They're usually flawless and never circulated. And most importantly, get it graded by a reputable coin grading service like NGC or PCGS. A high-grade certified coin can dramatically increase its value. Chart with upward trend. Part 5, Market trends and collector demand. Rare British decimal coins are gaining massive attention from collectors around the world. As fewer high-grade examples remain, prices are rising quickly. In recent years, numismatic forums and auction platforms like eBay UK, Heritage Auctions, and the Royal Mint's collector site have reported record-breaking sales. Collectors in the US, Canada, and Australia are jumping into the UK market, driving demand even higher. The key is scarcity. The rarer the error or strike condition, the higher the price. If your 1971 2p coin is a standout in any way, you're sitting on a potential fortune. Part 1. Background and minting history. Let's go back to the basics. The Polish grosz, or grosz in plural, is a subdivision of the zloty. 100 groszy equals 1 zloty. The 2 grosz coin is among the most commonly circulated denominations in Poland, made mostly of brass-plated steel, lightweight, and small in size, just 17.5 mm in diameter. In 2010, the Mint of Poland, Menika Polska, continued striking coins as part of the country's regular circulation coinage. Nothing about that year seemed out of the ordinary until collectors started noticing something strange. That year, certain 2 grosz coins appeared to be missing or only surfaced in very small quantities, sparking speculation among numismatists across Europe. Where were all the 2010 2 grosz coins? Had they been minted in extremely limited numbers? Were they a test run, or perhaps accidentally struck and released? These questions laid the groundwork for what would become one of Poland's greatest coin mysteries. Left-pointing magnifying glass, Part 2. What makes the 2010 2 grosz rare? Here's where things get exciting. In most years, the Polish mint produces tens of millions of coins for circulation. But in 2010, only a very limited quantity of 2 grosz coins were minted, and even fewer were actually released into circulation. Most reports suggest that less than 10,000 examples were confirmed to exist in the open market. Some experts say the number could be even lower. That's an insanely low mintage for a modern coin. Astonished face. To make things even more interesting, some 2010 2 grosz coins have been discovered with striking errors, including off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, clip planchets, wrong planchet strikes. These rare error coins are highly sought after by collectors worldwide, and they're willing to pay big money for them. Part 3. Value. How much is the 2010 2 grosz worth? You're probably wondering, what is this tiny coin really worth? Well, here's where the numbers get jaw-dropping. White heavy checkmark. A standard 2010 2 grosz in uncirculated or mint state condition can sell for up to $1,000 or more to a serious collector. White heavy checkmark. An error version with a clear double die or off-center strike can fetch between $5,000 and $15,000, depending on condition and rarity. White heavy checkmark. But here's the kicker: a specimen strike, or an unintentional mint release with a unique die variety, was once auctioned for over $50,000. Explosion symbol. White heavy checkmark. And as the demand continues to grow, experts estimate that if another top condition or unique error coin were to appear, it could easily cross the $100,000 mark. This coin has already made headlines in Poland, Germany, and international numismatic forums, and it's still being hunted for. Part 4. How to identify a valuable 2010 2 grosz. So how do you know if your 2010 2 grosz is one of the rare ones? Here's what to look for. 1. Date and design accuracy. Check the year carefully. Make sure it's 2010, as it's the key date. 2. Check for errors. Examine under magnification. Is the design off-center? Is there doubling in the lettering or numbers? Are the edges smooth or uneven? Does it have any clipping or cracks? 3. Weight and diameter. Use a precise scale. A coin struck on the wrong planchet may be lighter or heavier than the normal 2.13 grams. 4. Condition. Coins in mint state, MS65 or higher, or proof-like, PL, condition are significantly more valuable. Package. And remember, if you think you've got something special, get it professionally graded by an international grading service like NGC or PCGS. Chart with upward trend. Part 5. Collector demand and future value. With so few coins known and increasing global awareness, the 2010 2 grosz is climbing in both price and prestige. European collectors have already placed it among the top 10 rarest Polish coins of the 21st century. International collectors, particularly from the US, Canada, and Japan, are now entering the scene, pushing prices even higher. Experts believe that if no additional specimens are found, this coin could join the ranks of legendary modern rarities like the 2000 new Pence 2p era from the UK or the 2004 AD Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf in the US. Stop sign translation: the value is going nowhere but UP. Part 1: A historic shift, decimalization and the 5 new pence. Let's rewind to 1971, a year that changed British coinage forever. This was the year of decimalization, when the UK transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to the modern decimal system. On February 15, 1971, the new currency system officially launched. Among the new coins introduced was the 5 new pence, which was actually introduced in 1968, but in 1971, it became a staple in daily transactions. The coin was small, shiny, made from cupronickel, and featured obverse, a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin. Reverse, a crowned thistle, the national flower of Scotland, designed by Christopher Ironside. It replaced the older 1 shilling coin and had the same size and weight, 23.59 millimeters diameter and 5.65 grams in weight. Millions were minted. But among those millions are rare exceptions, errors, and low-minted strikes that make the 1971 5p coin a hidden goldmine. Explosion symbol, Part 2. What makes the 1971 5 new pence rare? So what makes this specific coin from 1971 so incredibly valuable? Most 1971 5p coins were mass-produced for circulation, with over 100 million struck. However, the value isn't in the regular version, it's in the rare minting errors, proof versions, and wrong planchette strikes. White heather checkmark error coins, some 1971 5p coins were struck off-center or using mismatched dies, or even on the wrong metal blanks, planchets. These are exceptionally rare and highly prized by collectors. White heather checkmark proof specimens, a very limited number of proof coins were produced for the 1971 proof set. These coins have a mirror-like finish and sharp detail, and even among these, ultra-high-grade examples can fetch thousands. White heather checkmark wrong metals planchette errors, coins mistakenly struck on a 1p or foreign blank instead of the proper 5p planchette are considered numismatic gold. Only a handful of these have ever surfaced, and they can fetch £10,000 to £100,000 plus depending on condition. Money bag, Part 3. Auction value, what these coins are selling for. You're probably wondering, is this really worth that much? Oh yes. Let's look at actual market prices. Right pointing magnifying glass standard 1971 5p in circulated condition. Value, 5 pence to 50 pence, just face value or slightly more. Gemstone proof 1971 5p in original set. Value, £10 to £50 depending on quality. Fire 1971 5p with minting error, off-center, double strike, wrong planchette. Value, £500 to £3,000 for minor errors. Value, £5,000 to £10,000 plus for major errors. Gemstone 1971 5p struck on a foreign planchette, rare confirmed specimens. Value, £25,000 to over £100,000, especially in certified condition by PCGS or NGC. Collectors around the world are actively looking for these anomalies. One verified 1971 5p error recently sold for over £12,000 at a UK numismatic auction. Part 1. Background and minting. Let's take a journey back to 1983, the year the UK introduced the very first £1 coin into circulation. Prior to this, the £1 note had been the standard. But notes wear out fast, so the Royal Mint made a big switch, introducing a round, thick, nickel brass coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, and the Royal Arms shield on the reverse, designed by Eric Sewell, then the chief engraver of the Royal Mint. Over 443 million of these coins were produced in 1983. Sounds like a lot, right? So how can one of these be worth tens of thousands of pounds? Because hidden among those hundreds of millions are a tiny handful of error coins, and these are the ones that can fetch small fortunes at auction. Bullseye, Part 2, the rare error. Now here's where things get interesting. There's a rare variety of the 1983 £1 coin that was never meant for general circulation, and only a few of these have ever surfaced. This rare version has one shocking difference. It was struck with the wrong edge inscription. Normally, the 1983 £1 coin should have the edge inscription. Decus et tutamen, a Latin phrase meaning an ornament and a safeguard. But in this extremely rare error version, the coin has no edge inscription at all, it's just a plain edge. This is a massive minting mistake. And it's believed to have come from a batch of coins meant for uncirculated sets, or potentially struck during a test run, where the blank edge was never milled or inscribed. What makes this even more amazing is that only a few of these plain edge coins have been discovered in over 40 years. That's what makes them worth so much today. Money with Wings, Part 3, Value at Auction. So how much is this rare 1983 £1 plain edge error actually worth? Let's talk cold, hard cash. One of these coins was confirmed sold for over £20,000 in the UK. Some dealers list them for £50,000 to £100,000, depending on condition and provenance. In near uncirculated or mint state condition, the coin becomes almost priceless to the right collector. Here's the catch, the value depends on authentication and scarcity. Since this coin is ultra-rare, even major coin grading companies like NGC or PCGS consider it a top-tier find. If you think you might own a 1983 £1 coin, check the edge. If it's smooth, no writing at all, then you might be holding a life-changing coin. Left-pointing magnifying glass, Part 4, How to check your 1983 £1. Let's get practical. Here's how you can identify the ultra-rare version of this coin. White heather check mark. Step 1. Check the date. Make sure it's a 1983 coin. White heather check mark. Step 2. Inspect the edge. Does it have the Latin phrase, Decus et tutamen? White heather check mark. Step 3. If the edge is completely plain, with no inscription or milling, you might have the rare error. If you suspect your coin is the rare version, get it professionally graded. Avoid cleaning it, that can ruin its value. Contact a reputable numismatist or auction house. You can even contact Heritage Auctions, Spink, or DNW in the UK. And remember, if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins in brilliant uncirculated condition, its value could easily exceed £50,000 or more, especially in international markets where collectors pay premiums for UK errors. Books E Part 5, Historical Significance. Why is the 1983 £1 coin such a big deal in British numismatic history? Because it was the first year of issue for the pound coin. It marked a major transition from paper to metal for one of the UK's most commonly used denominations. That alone makes the 1983 coin a collectible, but combine that with a massive minting error and only a handful in existence, and you've got the perfect storm of rarity, history, and value. This coin tells a story, not just of a minting mistake, but of how even something meant for everyday use can become a national treasure.